what advice would you have just in some do's and don'ts for an FGP, right? I mean, obviously, they're making their way among more hard conditions, but even still, some do's and don'ts. So let's focus first on anything that you feel like our education system, the institutes, whether it's schooling system and the college system can do when you think about the FGPs, and then maybe also companies. So that's the first part of the question.
So colleges and universities in the United States are recognizing the first generation college student experience, and frankly, they have to. So consider that 56% of US college undergraduates are first generation college students. In 2021, there were almost 15.5 million undergraduates in the US. So that means more than 8 million college undergraduates are first generation college students who can become first generation professionals. So the volume is there from um, when we think about these individuals in their college settings. So there are more initiatives there to recognize them and their experiences and offer the support they need to create senses of belonging and to help them land their first jobs. There is this huge gap, frankly, that my team and I are looking to fill to continue to pull that thread through when they become first generation professionals. And the mandate for universities is so significant for these first gen folks as it is, because there are challenges to graduation and helping them feel supported on campus and while they spend their time as students is critical so that they can persist to graduation. But there again, there is so much opportunity that institutions, college institutions, can seek to fill and employers can seek to fill as we look to create more of a transition or a bridge as a first gen individual goes from college student to professional. So with regard to other things companies can do, so one of the things that we're playing with companies is a FGP specific 1 year onboarding experience. And what does that look like? And with regard to folks who are mid-career or later, how could they function as mentors and sponsors for their peers or these early career people? And how do we use the sum of all of these things as or the combination of people who participate in all these things as candidates for leadership pipeline initiatives? So and the second part of your question, do's and don'ts, or just don'ts?
For the FGP Gen Z, yes.
Yeah. Do think of yourself as a first generation professional. So what we have seen in this country, in the United States, is a lot of identification through means such as race, gender, ability, sexual orientation, and a lot of intersectionality there. And that's understandable and that's perfectly reasonable and stands on its own. But what we miss is that, or what we get out of using the first generation professional identity, is that it makes it a little more concrete. The fact that we are the first in our immediate environments to go into this professional workforce situation that is brand new to us. And when we realize we're the first, like the first time you go to a doctor's office that you hadn't been to, or your first time visiting a new city, you assume this mindset of, okay, there's something I need to navigate here. There are going to be things for me to figure out. There are things that I have to understand about this new environment. And just employing that mindset can be extremely helpful in determining what comes naturally to you, what doesn't come naturally to you. It puts you in this space of an outsider where you can observe the norms, like you're like an anthropologist in some ways. You're like, okay, this is how they talk to each other. This is how they eat lunch together or how they don't eat lunch together. And you can pick up a lot of cues that can help inform your thoughts or the questions that you can ask yourself or trusted people around you. And if you don't have trusted people around you, then oops, okay, there's a light bulb that goes off. That's something I need to do. I need to figure out who's going to help me translate this environment.